Greetings, seekers of the unknown, to our video. As you embark on this enigmatic odyssey, may you tread cautiously through the mist, shrouded mountains, and unearth the chilling secrets that have lain dormant for generations. In the remote mountains of West Virginia, nestled far away from civilization, there lies an isolated mining town named Black Hollow. This town was known for its rich coal deposits and the close-knit community of miners who called it home. However, an incident that occurred in Black Hollow would give rise to a terrifying legend, one that would haunt the town for generations. In the early 1900s, the town was struck by a series of unexplainable tragedies. One by one, miners went missing under mysterious circumstances, leaving behind only their abandoned tools and half-finished tunnels. Rumors began to circulate among the miners of strange figures seen lurking in the depths of the mines, of eerie whispers echoing through the tunnels, and of an otherworldly presence that seemed to watch their every move. The townspeople were gripped by fear and paranoia, and many believed that a malevolent force had been unleashed upon Black Hollow. As the incidents continued, a chilling legend emerged, that of the Hollow's haunt. According to the legend, an ancient and vengeful spirit had been disturbed by the mining operations, seeking retribution for the desecration of the land. One fateful night, a group of brave miners decided to venture deep into the heart of the mines to confront the source of the disturbances. Armed with lanterns and determination, they descended into the dark tunnels, guided only by the sound of distant whispers and the chilling winds that seemed to emanate from the depths. As they delved deeper, the air grew colder and the whispers grew louder, their words incomprehensible yet filled with a sense of foreboding. Suddenly, the lanterns flickered and sputtered, casting eerie shadows on the tunnel walls. The miners pressed on, their hearts pounding in their chests, until they reached a vast underground chamber. In the center of the chamber stood an ancient altar, adorned with strange symbols and surrounded by flickering candles. As the miners approached, a bone-chilling voice filled the chamber, recounting tales of sorrow, anger, and vengeance. The spirit revealed itself as the guardian of the land, a force of nature that had been awakened by the miners' greed. One by one, the miners were overcome by an overwhelming sense of dread. Their vision blurred, and the chamber seemed to shift and warp around them. They could feel the presence of the spirit enveloping them, its cold touch seeping into their very souls. And then, in an instant, they vanished. The town of Black Hollow was left in shock and mourning, its population forever scarred by the incident. The legend of the Hollow's haunt spread like wildfire, with tales of the miners' encounter with the vengeful spirit becoming a cautionary tale told around campfires. Decades later, a team of modern-day paranormal investigators decided to explore the abandoned mines of Black Hollow, seeking to uncover the truth behind the legend. Armed with advanced technology and unwavering determination, they descended into the same tunnels that had claimed the lives of the miners years before. As they explored the depths, their equipment began to malfunction, capturing unsettling F recordings and distorted images of shadowy figures. Whispers echoed through the tunnels, and an icy wind seemed to follow their every step. The investigators pressed on, determined to uncover the secrets of Black Hollow. Deep within the mines, they stumbled upon the same underground chamber where the miners had encountered the vengeful spirit. The altar still stood, its candles flickering in the cold air. As they approached, the chamber seemed to come alive with a malevolent energy, and the voice of the spirit filled the air once more. Suddenly, the investigators felt an invisible force pulling at their very essence. Their bodies went cold, and their vision blurred as they realized they were not alone. The spirits of the lost miners appeared before them, their faces etched with a mixture of sorrow and warning. In a chilling moment, the investigators understood that the legend of the Hollow's haunt had indeed come true. The vengeful spirit still guarded the depths of the mines, seeking to protect the land from further desecration. The investigators fled the mines, their minds haunted by the encounter, and the realization that some legends are born from a very real and terrifying truth. To this day, the town of Black Hollow remains abandoned, its mines and tunnels serving as a chilling reminder of the incident that gave birth to the legend of the Hollow's haunt. The town's tragic history and the vengeful spirit that lurks within its depths continue to send shivers down the spines of those who dare to venture near. In the heart of the Arizona desert, there's a desolate stretch of highway known as Route 666, infamously dubbed the Devil's Highway by locals due to its eerie reputation. The legend of this cursed road traces its origins to a terrifying incident that unfolded decades ago, a nightmarish event that confirmed the darkest whispers of the Devil's Highway. Back in the 1960s, the area around Route 666 was primarily used for uranium mining, and the towns along the highway thrived on the industry's boom. But the prosperity was short-lived. One fateful night, as a wicked dust storm swept through the desert, a convoy of uranium-laden trucks was making its way down the highway. Suddenly, a blinding flash of lightning struck one of the trucks, causing it to veer off the road and crash into a ravine. The radioactive cargo spilled out, contaminating the area and triggering a massive response from the authorities. The incident claimed the lives of the truck's crew, and a widespread panic ensued as news of the radioactive spill spread. In the wake of the disaster, the mining industry in the region collapsed, and the towns along Route 666 fell into a rapid decline. As the years passed, Route 666 became synonymous with bad luck, eerie encounters, and a sense of foreboding. Travelers reported seeing phantom headlights on the highway, bizarre figures lurking in the desert, an inexplicable phenomenon. Locals whispered about cursed artifacts and unearthly occurrences, adding to the highway's sinister reputation. The legend grew, and many claimed that the devil himself walked the Devil's Highway at night, seeking lost souls to claim as his own. It was said that those who dared to drive the highway after dark risked encountering the devil, who would challenge them to a deadly race. If they lost, their souls would be forever trapped on the haunted highway. In the early 2000s, a group of thrill seekers decided to test the legend. Armed with cameras and a daring spirit, they set out to capture evidence of the devil's presence on Route 666. As they drove along the desolate road, one moonless night, they suddenly spotted a pair of crimson headlights in their rearview mirror. The sinister vehicle drew closer, its engine roaring with an otherworldly intensity. Panicking, the group sped up, but the red headlights matched their speed effortlessly. The highway seemed to stretch endlessly, and the devil's laughter echoed in their ears. In a desperate bid to escape, the group swerved off the road and into the desert. But the malevolent vehicle followed, its infernal engine growling louder. As they careened through the sand and dust, their cameras captured glimpses of the devil himself, a shadowy figure with blazing eyes and a wicked grin. With a final burst of speed, the group managed to evade their pursuer and reach the safety of a nearby town. But the incident had shaken them to their core. Their footage, however, provided undeniable proof of the legend. Route 666 was cursed, and the devil himself patrolled its desolate stretches. The legend of the Devil's Highway had come true, and it served as a chilling reminder that some stories, no matter how terrifying, can have roots in reality. To this day, the cursed road remains a place of dread, its legend a dark chapter in the history of the American Southwest, where travelers still risk encountering the devil himself on the infamous Route 666. Deep in the heart of Louisiana, in a remote bayou surrounded by twisted cypress trees and Spanish moss, lies the town of Crowleyville. It was a place known for its dark secrets, voodoo rituals, and tales of the supernatural. But one incident in the early 1900s would give rise to a legend that would terrorize the town for generations. In the sweltering summer of 1912, a stranger arrived in Crowleyville. He was a tall, gaunt man with a mysterious air about him. His arrival was accompanied by a series of bizarre events. Livestock began to disappear, and the once Plentiful fish in the bayou turned up dead, their scales covered in strange symbols. The townspeople grew suspicious of the stranger, believing him to be a practitioner of dark magic. They dubbed him the Bayou Sorcerer and accused him of bringing a curse upon their town. Fueled by fear and superstition, a mob of angry residents stormed the stranger's makeshift shack in the bayou one moonless night. They dragged him out into the murky waters, where they intended to drown him as punishment for his supposed witchcraft. As they held him beneath the surface, the stranger's eyes glowed with an eerie light, and he let out a guttural incantation. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning split the night sky, illuminating the bayou with an otherworldly radiance. The water churned and frothed as an enormous, serpentine creature emerged from the depths, its scales glistening with a sickly green hue. With a deafening roar, it devoured the mob, leaving only the stranger untouched. The legend of the Bayou Serpent was born that night, and it spread like wildfire throughout Crowleyville. The creature was said to be a guardian of the bayou, summoned by the Bayou Sorcerer to protect him from harm. Anyone who ventured too close to the bayou at night risked encountering the wrath of the serpent. For years, the legend of the Bayou Serpent terrified the town's residents. They spoke of eerie sightings where the creature's shadowy form could be glimpsed beneath the moonlit waters. Fishermen and hunters who dared to venture into the bayou never returned. Their boats found adrift and their bodies never recovered. The town of Crowleyville fell into a state of decay and abandonment as people fled the curse that hung over the bayou. It became a ghost town, its streets overgrown with vegetation, and its once vibrant community silenced by fear. Decades later, a group of adventurous thrill seekers arrived in Crowleyville, drawn by the legend of the Bayou Serpent. Armed with cameras and a desire for fame, they ventured into the abandoned town, determined to capture evidence of the creature. As they explored the overgrown streets and decaying buildings, they couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Night fell, and they made their way to the edge of the bayou, where they hoped to catch a glimpse of the legendary serpent. As they peered into the dark waters, a low, rumbling growl echoed through the night. The bayou's surface began to ripple, and the water churned with an unnatural force. A massive, scaly form emerged, its eyes glowing with a malevolent light. In a panic, the thrill seekers tried to retreat, but the serpent lunged out of the water with lightning speed, snapping its jaws shut just inches from their terrified faces. The group scrambled to safety, their cameras capturing the serpent's grotesque visage in the moonlight. The legend of the Bayou Serpent had come true once again, confirming the darkest tales told in hushed whispers for generations. To this day, Crowleyville remains a ghost town, and the legend of the Bayou Serpent continues to haunt the bayou's depths, serving as a chilling reminder that some legends are born from terrifying truths that defy explanation.